Have you ever stopped to wonder why we can't resist checking our phones every few minutes? It's because of an invisible yet powerful force called dopamine addiction. We're living in an era where this addiction is more prevalent than ever, thanks to the rise of technology and social media. Unlike other addictions, dopamine addiction often flies under the radar because it's not visible to the naked eye. But don't be fooled. This invisible addiction is not as harmless as it seems. Think about the last time you tried to quit caffeine or sugar or nicotine. Was it easy? Probably not. Now let's talk about dopamine. It's a chemical our brains produce, a neurotransmitter that drives our pleasure centers, and like caffeine, sugar, or nicotine, it can lead to addiction. But there's a twist. Dopamine addiction isn't about an external substance, it's about an internal process. It's not the dopamine itself we crave, but the activities that cause our brain to release it. Whether it's the thrill of a video game, the satisfaction of a completed task, or the constant stream of social media updates, these experiences can hook us just as intensely as any substance. Here's the kicker. Unlike physical addictions, dopamine addiction is psychological. It's rooted in our thoughts, our habits, and our behaviors. It's a shadowy enemy, hard to pin down, and equally challenging to overcome. Just like any other addiction, dopamine addiction can trap us in a cycle of dependence. But what exactly does dopamine addiction do to our brains and our lives? It's a question that's been stirring up quite a bit of intrigue. You see, dopamine addiction is not just a harmless habit, it's a full-blown brain rewire. It alters the way we perceive rewards, shifting our motivation from meaningful achievements to instant gratification. This addiction becomes our puppet master, dictating our decisions and actions as we relentlessly chase that next dopamine hit. It's like a never-ending game of tag where we're always constantly running after that elusive feeling of satisfaction. The repercussions of this chase extend beyond an unhealthy obsession with pleasure. It can open the floodgates to other mental health issues like anxiety and depression. As our brains struggle to maintain a balance, our mental health teeters on the edge, poised for a fall. The cost of constant dopamine hits is higher than we might think. So let's delve deeper into this unseen epidemic and explore ways to break free from the chains of dopamine addiction. So how do we break free from the grip of dopamine addiction? The first step lies in mindfulness, being fully present and aware of where we are and what we're doing. Reducing screen time is another effective strategy. Less exposure to digital triggers means less dopamine spiking. Lastly, find healthier ways to stimulate dopamine production, like exercise or learning something new. Remember, it's not about eliminating dopamine, it's about finding balance.